with some guests and some other mysterious things that she hasn't even told me about. So that's to come. And we wanted to make sure we stayed in person to get all that accomplished. So first, let's start out with... Anyone have a bucket to fill in the room? So many buckets? Your brain is mush. That's okay. And Dan Becker, I know you wanted to have a Nick moment and share something about something coming up, and I would like to fill your bucket by saying you've been doing an amazing job sharing your command strategy and content for CRM building. So why don't you take this moment and share your news?
Thank you. All right, so I just wanted to let everybody know that if you haven't had a chance to come to Command Mondays at noon, I highly recommend it. So I use it as getting my database updated. I've been in the business for 15 years, and I don't have my database organized, so don't be me. Okay, so, but what's really cool about Mondays, it's really like open office hours for Nick Pascal, who is really our amazing tech person. So he has given us the opportunity to learn all kinds of new things. So one of the things that was really cool that we did this past Monday is he taught us how to create a Google form document, integrate it, so when you go to an open house, people can fill out this document and it will automatically sync with your command contacts.
You can call that auto-magically.
Auto-magically. Auto-magically, thanks, Sam. So it's really fun, but it's a really great opportunity. If you are stuck with anything on command, you know that Nick is going to be there from noon to 1 on Mondays. It's not just about database input, but it's a lot of fun. So, and we get to learn new things every week thanks to Nick. So I encourage you guys all to take time and come and check it out. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan Becker. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Fill one today. Okay, my shout out is to Deb Brown.
Yay.
I was showing her building, the Discovery Building in Cortez Hills. So if you have any clients over there and you need all the inside scoop, she's who you want to go to. We even knocked on her door and walked into her unit to meet her husband with my client at 9 a.m. on like a Wednesday. She's like, yeah, Brian will do it. He'll pitch the whole building. So it was super fun, and she was vital because I did know that building, but I mean, she knows ins and outs and all the crew in there. So super grateful for her.
So that's why they call her Downtown Deborah Brown, isn't it? Thank you, Deb. Thank you, Danny Paz.
Props to Eddie over here.
Oh, I was going to do that for you.
Mutual bucket filling happening.
Yes. I met this guy, probably a couple of months ago. We were playing poker at Vinny's little poker tournament, and we just sat there and talked smack to each other for like hours.
I find that so hard to believe.
And then happened to be in the same office, right? So it was a really fun meeting. And then he called me out of the blue. I was like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? You want to go down to Street Fair, Spring Valley? We went down there, and I mean, talking about a great idea. This guy, he generated, I don't know, probably 150, 200 leads at the Spring Valley Fair, and Caitlin, wherever she is, we're not online, but thank you, Caitlin, she's helping us out with the data entry.
Nice.
And we're going to get on and just start calling people.
I was thank Eddie for coming out there. It was way too much for one person to handle a lot of people, and so once Eddie got there, I sat down and like, go, get these people. I'm tired.
So 3 bucket fills. I think you had the wheel of happiness you were spinning, right? Yeah. So spinning the wheel, 150 contacts gathered, and in a day, in hours. How many hours?
4 hours.
4 hours.
Where? Spring Valley Fair.
Fair.
Street Fair.
I mean, it would be better to do it at like the La Jolla Street Fair, maybe, but you know.
Yeah, fair.
Done is better. Perfecting it along the way could be better. Maybe you got 2 contacts there, you got 150 here. So nice work.
I'm curious to find out how Sam and
Yanni's booth?
They were there too.
Yeah.
They bumped like he.
Don't compare it. Don't compare it.
No, I'm not. Well, I'm just saying.
I've also been doing it for like 6 to 8 years. So.
He just
Oh,
he's got
nice.
such a great
Is it weekly that you do it?
whenever I can get to one of these festivals that doesn't want to charge me like $1,500. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sweet, that's cool.
$80.
$80 to get in.
And it was just people to walk up to your kiosk?
But
You have to be willing to get out there. If you're a realtor, you should be.
But what was your ask to get
Yeah,
there?
what was your ask? How'd you get the lead?
Free shit. Here, come.
Free stuff. Spin the wheel. You have the spinning
And
wheel.
what was the free shit?
It was, I have a connection to a couple of people that are business owners that have excess inventory of sunglasses and stuff, so.
Nice.
Yeah, we were raffling off tickets.
Yeah, but I think a few beach balls were very popular, and
Yeah, that was fun. I brought my beach balls.
you got to bring the vibe, the party, the music, and what's cooler in the back. I can't confirm or deny, but
I didn't ask any of that, so your vibe
Yeah,
tracks your tribe.
I
I'm not in charge of the fair, but yeah, 150 contacts, 4 hours, 3 humans from our internal office having amazing experiences and growth from it. I'd say that's a win. Nice work.
Yeah.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks.
All right, coaching. Is it just me, Evie? Because
Yes, ma'am.
okay, it's just me. You're gonna hear me talk, and I'm never gonna stop. Okay, coaching spotlight is Oz. Is Priscilla in the room? No. So congratulations to Priscilla on Team Alicia opened her first escrow and launch. And then Team Lisa, Franco, and Nima both got buyer agency agreements signed. Oh, there's slides. Nice. I was like, what's back there, you guys? So congratulations on those big moves this week. And then Eddie, it's your turn for movement. You want to talk?
Yeah.
I know you don't like talking, but if you could, share a few words.
I hate it.
They are on YouTube or something.
Oh, we're on YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Hi something. Facebook streaming.
So Movement came out with a really cool new program this week. I put a little quick snippet on all the socials, but just to let you guys know, we have our own down payment assistance program now. So it's up to 5% in down payment assistance. It's an FHA loan, so you only need 3.5% for the down payment. You can use the other 1.5% for closing cost assistance. You need a 620 credit score to qualify for it. Daniel,
what are income limits on that?
it's FHA.
Just basically,
There's no, yeah. Oh, sorry, I take that back. FHA, yes, it's 100. I thank you for making me think. 160% AMI. So yeah, I had a slight brain fart there for half a second. 160% in San Diego is about $171,000 a year.
Okay.
Tell everybody what AMI is.
AMI is your
Lots
area.
of seats up front.
It's your, don't be scared, I don't fight hard. It's your area media income.
So you can make, as long as you make under 172,000 a year, you can do that.
That's correct. Yep.
Eddie, can you do it for a second home?
FHA is for owner-occupied homes. Yeah.
So 620 credit score,
620 credit score, it has to be
Owner-occupied,
owner-occupied,
under 170 something.
But you can have 2 FHA loans, if you guys didn't know that.
I have an idea. Why don't they just call you?
You can
if
totally
they think
call me.
it's a good idea
Yeah.
to look into it.
Absolutely.
And then you could answer all the questions for the actual client.
Anytime you want.
Yeah,
Literally
do it, yeah.
24/7.
So they shouldn't
My
be
wife
a
loves
lender.
Wednesday.
So don't be a lender. Call a lender.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Free money, it sounds like.
Yes, it is.
Free money. That
Hold on.
Because he loves me.
Now that we said it was free money, all right. So there is a payment on the loan. Okay, it is not free money. It's a loan. It's a second loan, y'all. Okay, you do have to make a payment. It's not like a grant or anything like that. It's not deferred. All right.
But at the closing table, it feels free.
It does, right? Because you only put like.
It's a 96.5%
It's a
loan
10
instead of 100%.
Yeah, so it's a 10-year loan period. But the amount of money that you're getting over 10 years it shouldn't be more than a few $100s out to your regular one, so.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you for.
Free Nothing's free.
Nothing is free.
Except the amazing energy you get when you come into my Wednesday meetings. That is free for all. Okay. Property pitches and buyer needs. I know we have one buyer need. Balin, you want to kick us off?
Yes.
And if anybody else has a pitch to make. Nice and loud.
2 buyers, fully funded, ready to go. The first one is looking for a condo in the metropolitan area up to 580, 2 bedrooms possibly. And I have another one that's qualified for 900,000, single family home from coastal community up to in the Vista Lake Murray area. We're pretty heavily looking right now because there's nothing on the market. So.
But no La Mesa, that one?
Oh,
No La Mesa.
we can do Lisa.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've made a love connection. Mission accomplished.
We've got a 3-2, 1659 square feet, La Mesa home coming on right near that high school on Orion Ave. We're gonna go coming soon, probably Saturday. I just got the photos back. I can forward them to you now.
Thank you.
And then live next Thursday.
Yeah.
Awesome. And that one's already sold, so anybody else?
849 asking.
849.
Yeah, beautiful. Killer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any others? Speak now. Oh, there we go. Sherry.
I have a listing coming in Temecula. It's 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 1,400 square feet. It's a corner lot, and it'll come on next Thursday at 6:25.
625 in Temecula. Corner lot. That'll be sold in a minute now. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? I should have a gavel. Imagine me doing an auction. That'd be so scary. Okay. Nice work, y'all. Everybody else, if you didn't have a listing to share or a buyer to pitch, go find one. And I'm going to take our time before I hand it over to the fabulous Bridget for R.E.D Day and go over. So we were at Mega Leadership in Austin Sunday to last night. And what that is Gary Keller and the team at KW International have decided they would like to pull out all the leadership from around the globe and bring us to one giant resort to be stuck together happily in a convention center resort environment to learn and mastermind just the whole time. And when we talked about today's meeting and we talked about me sharing, to be real, you're gonna be like, you said so much, how is that not a lot? I will keep sharing so much more from myself and the team and what everyone's takeaways are and all the really exciting things we're doing as a market center to keep evolving your businesses forward through this market and forever to infinity and beyond. So, but today, my first nuggets really come foundational. And if you've been working with me for a while, you know mindset is super important because what starts here dictates the rest of everything else in your world. So Gary does this beautiful class called Servant Leadership, and he starts it with this poem, so I'm going to share it with you guys. Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows that it must run faster than the fastest lion, or it will be killed. Every morning a lion wakes up, and it knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle, or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you're the lion or the gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be running. And it's simple, and it's people are like, animals are eating each other, what's happening? But it's such an interesting circle of life moment of like, right, the lion is doing one thing, the gazelle is doing the other, and their whole goal in their day is to outrun the other one, right? I don't want you guys to go out and start eating each other. That's not the mission here. The point is that even getting into the foundational pieces of like animal world, everyone has a mission in their day, and when you get up, you have to take action to be in alignment with your mission if you want to thrive and survive, and literally survive if we're talking about the animals here. So I'm gonna go through my notes and some of the nuggets, and it will not be the most eloquent experience you've ever had with me, but I want to get through them all before we end off. So these cards are on our table. So ILC will be hearing from me about this in our next meeting. So there's the foundational tools in your toolbox. A lot of what's happening right now is people are looking for shiny things. What can I do differently? How can I get a shortcut? How can I, if we're talking about health and wellness, it'd be like, what pill can I take to get results faster, right? Your business is the same as everything else in the world. When you want something, you need to work for it. Success is found in the simplicity of what we do. And the foundational tools will never change. And Gary's standing on stage and he's like, what does that mean? It means I haven't found anything to replace my hammer in my toolbox. I still need my hammer, right? I still need my screwdriver. Okay, there's an electric version of the screwdriver, great. But, what if you don't have electricity? The hammer and the screwdriver are always important in the world of tools and building and what you're doing. And the same thing comes to us in our business. So if you say the foundational pieces are most important, what is that in real estate? Lead generation. What does that mean? Contacting people. In Danny's case he just shared, it was 150 people in 4 hours at a fair with a spinning wheel. In your case, Judy, what's your favorite way to lead gen? Open houses. Emily, what's your favorite way to lead gen? Database. It doesn't matter how you do it, it matters that you do it. Your foundational pieces and my foundational pieces and your foundational pieces might be different, likely are somewhat different. There's like 32 ways you can build your business, yet if you don't have a strong foundation, you're just gonna keep trying to get to the top of that triangle and you're never gonna get there, right? You need a strong foundation with a solid skill set of what you're doing every single day to get to where you're going. Does that make sense? So like, I see the agents out there right now in social media, y'all, that is just a hot freaking mess, to be clear. There is like, every time I turn around, there's somebody else selling a coaching program or a book or a, try this thing or run this ad or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, that is so distracting and overwhelming. I'm getting marketed to death in my own email box about, have you tried this? Do you want to buy that? Get this new website. I'm like, stop. So please don't go out there right now and be buying new things and trying special sauces and all that other stuff. Think about yourself and your business. What is your foundation? If what I'm talking about right now doesn't make any sense to you, call your coach. If you don't know who that is or you don't have one because you're done a little bit of business but not a ton, call me and we will find the right person for you. Everyone needs to know what their foundation is and be securely attached to it. Because I guarantee you the new homes they're building in Leucadia, there's hammers on the project, right? They're not building the homes without the hammers. So you're not building your business without your hammers. What is it? Good?
Yeah.
Make sense? Okay. And then there's my favorite piece of the 6 personal perspectives, which is part of Quantum Leap, which is a whole other story, but I say those little nuggets now, so when you hear them in the future, they ring a bell somewhere in your brain. And my favorite piece of 6PP is E to P. What does that mean? You're gonna go from entrepreneurial to purposeful in your business and your behavior. The great thing about what I'm talking about to you now is it's not just your real estate business, it's your entire life. So if you think back to the foundational pieces, are you a parent? How are you training your children? How are you teaching your kids? How do you show up with your partner, right? It's the same thing with the foundational pieces of your business. Your life has that too. E to P is also in your life. It's every element of your world. So the entrepreneurial is how everyone does. Oh, they're a natural at that. That just comes so easily. It's entrepreneurial. They could do it without trying, right? That kind of conversation happens around people who are successful entrepreneurs and what they do. Don't confuse entrepreneurial with being a strong entrepreneur, okay? It's not the same thing. Entrepreneurial means the way you're moving about your business. And what it means is you're just doing what comes easy to you. For an example, because I'll always point the finger back at me, when I was selling, yes, I was a top agent. Yes, I had a lot of success. Do you want to know what I would always tell my friends? I wonder what happened if I actually tried. Because every single thing I did, with the exception of one for sale by owner, just came naturally to me. People called me, I did open houses, and they just were attracted to me. Everything I did was through attraction and word of mouth. And I would literally sit at home and be like, I wonder how much I could do if I actually tried. And what would that mean? It mean I'd have to get uncomfortable. I mean I'd have to have the breakthrough from entrepreneurial to purposeful. And how do you do that? With a model, with a system, with a plan that you follow. Right? So entrepreneurial is, it's easy, it's energetic, it comes free. It's also, what are the words I wrote down for it? Exhausting and empty. Right? Because it's great until it's not. And then you're like, okay, I did all this, but what's next? What could I actually be doing? Or why do I feel like I'm running myself ragged even though I'm doing a lot of things? Because you're just winging it. Most real estate agents, to be clear, are professional wingers. They wing it really well, they ride a roller coaster of success, and they're like at their highest peak, and they're booking Hawaii vacations, they're buying cars, they're doing all this stuff, and then they're like, ooh, where's my business go? I wish I didn't just take that vacation. And that's not purposeful at all. That is completely entrepreneurial. So my wish for all of you, my hope, my plan, my vision going forward as we bring repeated conversations like this to you is that you will work with getting through the ceiling. And it hurts, to be clear. It is not easy to get uncomfortable. It is way easier to stay in the entrepreneurial world. So when you're doing that thing and you're feeling super uncomfortable and you're like, I don't want to do this, but I think it's still what I should do it anyway, okay? And think about what's the model, what's the system, what's the plan I'm following for me and my business to break through that ceiling and get off the roller coaster of real estate. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. This just all kind of connects to that. So, change is inevitable, participation is optional. I've said that a lot through the last few markets, and by the last few markets, I mean just the last 2 months. Thank you. The change is happening, participation is optional. So what does that mean? That means when I talk to agents, I talk to a lot of agents. It's literally my whole job is to talk to agents or teach agents, right? So I hear people say this, well, COVID. So I had the worst 2 years of my entire career because COVID. I'm like, I know. I'm sorry that happened. And people are like, I had the best 2 years of my entire career because COVID has been just the best time for the market and I've just crushed it for 2 years straight. Congratulations, that's amazing. It doesn't matter which one you believe, whatever you are living in is your reality, right? Change is always happening. Your participation in the evolution is completely optional. Guess what else is optional? What? Failure is optional, yeah. Your success is what came to mind, right? So however you show up in, I wasn't trying to be sarcastic.
I'm sorry, it's really vibrating. You can stand up.
So change is inevitable, participation is optional, right? Okay, so on top of that is just because it's not working, doesn't mean it's not working. What does that mean?
It means that people will start to do things and it's not an immediate gratification, so they'll stop doing it, and if they just stop doing something that everything you put into will eventually pay off because you'll be better at it.
Yeah. Kathy, is that where you're
No, I was
going?
going to say about the same thing, that, it might take a couple of years, sometimes or a year and a half, but you just keep calling and all of a sudden you get a call. It's funny.
I want you to really write that down, think about it, on top of the changes, happening, optional, whatever. Just because it's not working doesn't mean it's not working. And then think about it in every part of your life when something feels like, oh, why isn't this working? Go, wait, is it working? This is that thing Sarah talked about that day. Is it actually working when I just don't see the results yet? Is something actually happening? Did something change and I'm not actually being aware of it? What often we do is we expect a miracle because we did one tiny change. I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning and I wrote in my journal and I read for, I did not, I slept, I was up late. But when we do that, right, I worked out, I had a glass of water, my jeans still feel the same, I don't feel different, right? One day doesn't change our whole lives. And so just because it's not working doesn't mean it's not working. And as you're doing something now to go from A to P, it is vitally important that you remember that piece, right?
Rome wasn't built in a day, neither can man in Harvey.
Say it again?
Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither can man in Harvey.
Exactly. Oh, and I'm wearing my Empire Builder shirt. Fresh from Mega Camp. Mega Leadership. Okay, and on top of that, again, this is all just building. There is beauty in becoming. Let that be in your world. There is beauty in becoming. My favorite bold law, hey My favorite bold law, bold statement, bold will be back in August. So for all y'all who are like, what are you talking about? Business objective, life by design, bold. My favorite one is be, do. For all of us oldies, it was have. We've changed it to achieve. And we're privileged to have Dusty, who's an amazing bold coach, give us an hour of bold in the room yesterday. And when I tell you, I forget how good it is until I'm sitting there and I just get like washed away for an hour into this mind journey. And so I'm gonna give you 60 seconds of it. He started by saying, what's the first thing that happens if you pull up your phone and you go to like your GPS to type in directions to something? What's the very first thing your phone does? Drops a pin where you are right now, right? It drops a pin. I know, I feel like I was like, you press go, you type in the address, this is a trick question. No, it drops a pin where you are. Why does it start with a pin where you are?
Because you're going somewhere from there.
You can't figure out where you're going unless you know where you are.
You can't, you're all right. You can't figure out where you're going if you don't know where you're starting from. So living in the honesty of where are you today in this moment in your whole life, right? There's a moment where we draw circles and it's our business and it's our life and it's all the things. And we'll do that in another session when I have more than 15 minutes. That moment is plant yourself in the honesty of today. There is no right or wrong. There is zero judgment in it. If you don't know where you are today, you can't possibly get where you're trying to go. Because if I was like, I want to go to Austin, am I here? Am I on the moon? Am I in Florida? Where am I starting from? My directions matter, right? So you have something called a GPS in your world of real estate, a 135, your goals, your, I forget what the P and the S stand for right now, it's midnight, but it's part of our goal setting system that we have priorities and strategies. Thank you, brain. So you need to know where you are today and be honest with yourself and say, so don't show up and be like, okay, I'm here. Like, I think I'm an 8 on that, but I really like you're a 2, right? I don't know enough to know enough. So like be honest where you are so you can learn the things you need to learn so you can have the plan to get where you want to be, right? It's a huge part of breaking through from E to P. And then the B, do achieve. So here's what I loved that he said was when you set a plan and you go, hey, what am I gonna do? Right? You set a plan, what am I gonna do? Do we ever start with who do I need to be before we start talking about what do I need to do? Right? So like for Evie, I'll call out Evie, she loves when I do stuff like that. When she decided that she wanted to go on this mission for her pro card, if she just went to the gym one day and like worked out and like didn't have a plan around it, it wouldn't be as powerful. It would likely potentially someday get her where she wants to be. I could start walking right now and end up in Austin by mistake one day, but it wouldn't be the same as like clicking on the directions and knowing where I'm going, right? So with the first part of B, the mistake people have in the be, do, have, or be, do, achieve is that they go do. You have to start with be. Who do I need to be in order to do the things I need to do to achieve the things I want to achieve? And if you start with be, what is that telling you? Where do I need to spend my energy? Who do I need to talk to? What do I need to learn? It's all the do things around it, but it's to be the person that I need to be in order to show up that way, right? Does that make sense? I'm like, now the faces are a little like, I'm not sure, but yes? So when you figure out where you're going and what you're looking at, start with the be. Rewind yourself all the way back and say, okay, what does that person do? Does that person wake up earlier than I wake up? Do I go to bed earlier than I go to bed? Do I need to be talking to different people, asking other agents to have coffee dates, learning from someone, asking someone to tag along on a showing, going to more coaching sessions, reading more personal development? Is my mind all screwy? Do I need to go to like deep in personal development because I don't even think I deserve the things I think I want to get? That's okay, a lot of people feel that way, right? So who do you need to be in order to do, and then you can achieve? Otherwise you're just living in do-do. That wasn't on purpose. And you never get there, and you're frustrated, and you just are in this horrible cycle. Okay, and around that, and then I'll be handing it off to our lovely Bridget, is if you've heard Ed Milet, he talks about the emotional thermostat, right? And if you are someone who lives in a 75-degree world, emotionally, if it's too hot or too cold, you try to make tweaks in your world to change it to bring you back to center. He also talks about a health thermostat, and he's like, for example, if you've ever been someone who wanted to lose weight and you go and you like lose 20 pounds, but then you suddenly end up back and like people talk about like my happy weight or my comfort zone, right? That's because that's the person we're conditioned to be. That's the life we live. Until we foundationally change the person that we are in order to do the things we want to do differently, nothing matters because you autopilot yourself back to your 75 degrees. Does that make sense? Ashley taught it to me in financial thermostat. Who is in a place now, or you don't have to raise your hand, but think in your brain. Like the money you've made in your life now is money that at one point you thought was maybe like, oh my gosh, I'm like a bajillionaire if I ever made that much money, or I ever got a check with those many zeros in there or whatever. So your financial thermostat, if you think back, when I was graduating high school, I was like, if I can make $1,000 a week, I will be freaking loaded. I am so excited about that. And then you evolve, right? And as your thermostat gets raised and things happen, you start to see things differently. And as you expand your brain to understand what's possible, you elevate your thermostat. In that case, you're elevating your thermostat so you see like, oh, I understand what that would look like. I can see how that's reality. It's no longer just a magazine picture in my mind. Whether it's your whole self, your business, your health, your finances, there's a thermostat to all of it. And if you reflect and journal on it, you'll find in your life where your normal is for all of that. What's your 68 to 72 degrees? So if you want to do something differently, that's when you have to get to that B. And who do I need to be in order to actually change those behaviors? Are you still with me?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's it. You're 100% responsible for the climate of your life right now. So if you want to change it, you've got to change it. And Gary Keller told us, we are what we decide we will be. We do what we decide we will do. We become our choices. Bridget, will you take us away to Red Day Land? If you all have any questions about any of that, like reach out and ask. I never want to drop nuggets on you and then be like, now my brain is full and I don't know what to do with it. All right, tomorrow is Red Day. Bridget's going to do all the cheerleading, but I, as the team leader, need to cheerlead in a minute and bring us out of that other space. So Red Day is this Thursday tomorrow. It is in honor of Mo Anderson's birthday. We will talk a lot tomorrow about other pieces of it, but y'all, this day is, I will not talk in detail about it right now because tears will come out of my face and I'm not interested in that. I'm already plain puffy. It is a life-changing, give where you live, global stop of business in the world of Keller Williams so that we can turn around and give back culturally where we are. We've done everything from, in my world, pain centers for women to flee with their children when they're in dangerous relationships, and make backpacks and do all sorts of things like that. And then we're gonna do this now with Clothing Drive. So take it away. Oh, yeah.
At Keller Williams, we don't just talk about the change we want to see in our communities, we show up ready to be the change in our communities. Keller Williams, are you ready?
Hey, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Hello, everybody. I can't believe it, but Red Day is officially here tomorrow. I want to take a minute and first of all say thank you to so many of you who have already been working hard the last month or so collecting things. And before we get started, I know we have some newer agents and some guests here today. Does anybody want to explain to our newer guests and our newer agents what Red Day is? Dan, would you like to explain it? Our Red Day Pro?
You want me to do it from back here?
If you want, you can come up.
Sure. So Red Day is a once-a-year opportunity for Keller Williams agents to give back in the communities where they live. It is in honor of Mo Anderson, who, if any of you don't know who she is kind of the heart and soul of our company. She is the velvet glove, velvet iron fist.
Hammer.
So she's a badass woman who has worked really hard to create the culture that we have. It's an opportunity for us to stop doing business and to give back and make our community a better place. And by doing that, it creates a cycle of helping others who help us. So.
Thank you, Dan. That was beautiful. And so I hope that we can count on all of you to give 100% participation. We'll talk a little bit more about the day tomorrow. You don't need to be here all day. This can be, you just stop by. You can still have a full day of business, but it would be great to have your support. About an hour ago, I got some really exciting news about Red Day tomorrow, but I'm going to make all of you wait until the end here. I'm so excited. Anyway, so before we get started with a couple of our surprise guest speakers we have today, I would like to invite up our very own downtown Deborah Brown, who is going to share some of the successes that she has had and how she did it. Deborah, you want to come up here, please? Deborah's one of those people that you always know when you ask for something, you know she's going to come 120%, and this has been no exception. So please share with us your wisdom.
Easy. As Sarah was saying earlier, just keep doing the things, and they're the simple things. So for me, it's downtown. For me, it's my building. I think the last 2 years have been just extraordinary successes. I make friends with my doorman. He loves me. I love him. I feed him. And I tell him what's going on, and he helps me. And last year was the food drive. I had my 2 bins down in the lobby area. I posted on our next door site. I made flyers. I talked to all my neighbors. I have dear friends in the building who they talk to the other neighbors. Basically, that's it. I think I had maybe 5, 6 bins of food. I don't know how many tons of food I had, pounds of food I had last year. It was just crazy. I think Corinne beat me, but that's okay. And then this year, it's nuts. I have clothes filled up in my dining room because I don't want the lobby to get sloppy. Same thing. I did exactly the same thing. I should do this in my business every day. And the 2 bins are down there. This lovely gentleman over here brought 2 bins to my building. And thank you, Bridget, for coordinating that. And I did the flyers, I did the next door, I fed my doorman and my security guy, and I have now, I think I've emptied those bins 3 times so far. Wow. I know. So, and you know what? I don't forget to thank everybody. I thank them, but they really do. They do all the work, and they're so thrilled to be doing, what they're doing. So it's just I don't know. Is there anything more I can say?
That's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, a lot of people just have things that they want to donate, and they just haven't gotten around to doing it. So you don't need to go out and spend any money. This is one of those Red Days where it's just the materials are there. You just need to ask people for them. That's it. It's just that simple. So today I wanted to do something a little different. We're going to hear from a couple of guest speakers, but I wanted to start with one that is very near and dear to our heart that you all know. I would like to invite up Judy Stephens to share her testimony and experience. Thank you, Judy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Judy Ames Stephens, and I am an alcoholic. For 32 years, I have been clean and sober, and for that, I am deeply grateful. You see, if I had continued drinking, I would not be the person that I am today, and I would not have achieved anything that I've done in my life. So it's great gratitude for me. Now, how many of you out here have experienced great stress in this life of real estate we live? Let me see your hands. Oh yes. Now, if you're not admitting it, That's fine, it's okay. You don't have to raise your hands, but I know that we all have to deal with these demanding, unrealistic sellers and the buyers that are wishy-washy and they're insecure, and rude realtors, oh my goodness, and the appraisers that are so cruel to us. And then, not our lenders, but some lenders that don't answer the phone. Okay, now, so my question to you is, what are your coping strategies? What do you do when you're under stress? A bottle of wine, maybe a couple of pints, or special pills, or maybe pot. Whatever it is, some people can take it or leave it, right? Some people are fine with it, and they're just gonna do it once in a while, and that's it. But there are others of us that make it a way of life. In fact, they can't function without it. And then they start lying and justifying what they're doing. And things go from bad to worse. Suddenly, you can ask yourself this question. Is what you're doing to handle stress interfering in your life? Is it bringing you down? Is it causing problems in your relationships? Or maybe sabotaging your goals? Think about it. Now, I have a story, but my story isn't like some people. My story is not, I wasn't down on the pavement drinking and like begging for money. I did those things, but not because of drinking. That's another story. But so I wasn't down and out with alcohol. That didn't happen to me like that. You see, there's a lot of alcoholics that are very high achieving. I mean, they can function in the world just fine. And they don't let anybody know what's going on because they're lying and deceiving themselves and other people around them. So they go home and they are a complete hot mess, out of control. And that kind of alcoholic, that exists all over the place. Not at all the same as the other type, but they're the same. We're all the same that way. So my story, I didn't have alcoholic parents. They were just completely dysfunctional. Lots of fighting at home, things like that. So I didn't learn how to drink until I got with my first husband. And he was not only a drunk, but he was a drug addict too. So life went on and he hit bottom. When he hit bottom, he went to AA. Everybody know what AA is? Alcoholics Anonymous. Well, at the same time, because of that, I went to what's called Al-Anon, which is a great program for the partners of alcoholics. So there we learned the 12 steps. I learned about codependency. I learned about admitting my character defects. I learned how to make amends and how to take my own personal inventory. So I learned all those things, but I was singing in nightclubs and I continued to drink to dull the pain of emotional stress, and I kept on drinking. So, where was I here? Yes. When I was singing in nightclubs, what do you think happens there? It's a lot of drinking. And let's buy a drink for the singer and the band, huh? How about another drink for the singer and the band? And then by the time we came to the end of the night, I'm walking out of there and I get in my car, and you know who knew the way home? Not me. I didn't know the way home. My car did though. Luckily, the car got me home. So that's how I was making it, and I was thinking, just like every other alcoholic thinks, that I could handle it. I was in control. That was a lie. It was the alcohol that was in control. Alcohol. Cunning. Baffling. Powerful. So what happens when you drink? You dull your mind, your emotions, all inhibitions and good judgment goes out the window. So I found myself in situations that I would not like to repeat in public. Very embarrassing situations with people, indiscreet, and a lot worse. So, one morning, I woke up and I was shaking all over my body. I'm going like, oh my God, what is this? I was terrified. And I thought, okay, Judy, you need to have a little heart-to-heart talk with yourself. What do you think I said? I said, okay, Judy, you are at a crossroads. And you go this way, and you're going to get very, very sick. You're going to need medical treatment. You're going to not be able to do anything you want to do. Or you can go that way, give up this pretense of a life, get clean and sober, and get well. So I chose. And from that time on, I never had another drink. I never did. First weekend I was sober. It was my brother's wedding. And I did not want my family to see me drunk, so that worked out pretty well. Second weekend, I was singing in the nightclub, and I'm standing there on stage, and I'm going, this feels really weird. I have lots of time and space. I don't have to pretend anymore. I'm free. I'm going, wow, this is great. So I joined AA. I got a great sponsor. She was helping me a lot. And but I had these dreams that I was drinking by mistake, like accident. There's this drink coming in my mouth, and where did this come from? And then one time somebody comes up to me, and I was in a party or something, and said, oh, Judy, could you hold this cognac glass for me? My drink of choice, by the way. And I went, oh, no, I can't hold it. I can't even touch it. You see, I was still singing in the nightclub, but I had made a commitment. And drink was no longer an option. I'm a student of human behavior. I love understanding anything to do with people, how they work, and all these things that people do and they don't do and all that. So I took a lot of different programs, and I've discovered 3 main things that I want to tell you about today. The first thing, personal honesty. So every day I pray, please remove from me my character defects, toxic resentment, arrogance, and something I call insidious, callous ambivalence. What does that mean? It means I don't care. That's what that means. So I don't want that. I don't want that anymore in my life. The second thing, gratitude. Every day, I am so grateful for the life I have, for the gifts that come to me, for the abundance that is part of our lives. And the third thing, giving back, contribution. I ask, and I want to learn the laws of attraction and conversion so that I may help other people and bring them to what they need, give them what they want. So I adore my life, my independence, and the possibilities that I have to help people to achieve their goals, especially in real estate, which is so satisfying. So tomorrow, it's Red Day. Perfect example of how you can contribute and how you can give back. So we all know about Mo Anderson and what she's put together for us. So this is an opportunity for you to contribute. And I actually gathered 4 bags together in my closet. Hasn't made a difference. I did it anyway. It's a big deal for me. And I talked to all my neighbors, so that was great. You know, so here's the thing, you know, you can talk to your friends and neighbors and family. You can tell them how important it is to contribute and how good they're going to feel afterwards. You can actually do that in an hour tonight. Anybody who hasn't done that yet, step out, do it. And I really look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy, for sharing your story and your feelings about Red Day. Okay, up next, I want to have a quick testimony from Miguel. You're up first. Oh. Or Travis, do you want to go first? Okay, he's already up.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Miguel, and I am not a realtor. But I am here to share a little testimony about my life, and this experience with the Salvation Army. Have you ever felt like the world's always caving in on you? And like you against the world and everything just falling and falling, you feel like everything's crashing? Well, that was me approximately a year ago. Just around this time, I was getting into trouble last year. Through the Salvation Army, I've learned that in those moments when the world's kind of caving in on you, that's when the best in you really shines. That's when the true you and your true colors really shine. That's who you are comes out. And you stand up and you make those hard decisions and those hard choices that define who you are today and other mistakes that you made before. People try, for myself, I held myself to my past a lot. I had a lot of resentment towards myself. I had a lot of resentment towards everything I did wrong or everything I didn't fulfill in my parents' eyes and my grandparents' eyes. I didn't meet the limitation they expected of me. It's been very rough. But through the Salvation Army and giving myself this time, I just didn't do it. I know how to use it. And it's just been a blessing. And I don't use those words softly. I believe it was truly a blessing. A year ago, around this time, I lost my uncle tragically. I had been clean for 2 years. And it was thanks to the Salvation Army the first time, too, in 2019, when I decided I needed to finally need help. I woke up 2019 on Christmas Eve, and I had my little house down here on 29th and Franklin. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the area, right? I was living my bachelor life and living it good, Had my own little house now, and everything's going good. But I was deep in depression. I was deep in denial. I have a relationship where I have a daughter, and I'm not part of her life at this point. I'm making my way back to that. So everything I was drowning myself in didn't seem to help anymore. I needed something. I finally needed help. I went to San Bernardino when my little brother was starting his life out too. He's like, come on down. He was able to get out of everything he was able, of his addiction, his alcoholism by himself. No help, no program, no nothing. And he was able to do it. So I went, all right, I need your help. Come pick me up on Christmas morning. I locked my little house up. Call everybody I needed to call, say, you know what, I'm taking off, what do you need to do? I'm going to go do that. And I didn't turn back, and I didn't think about it twice. I didn't finish the Salvation Army in San Bernardino, but the tools it gave me, I used them wisely for 2 years. I didn't stay connected after I came back home. I went to Texas for a while, it was great out there. And I was working, doing some things my contractor was sending me out there. There's a lot of good banging out there too, by the way. And my uncle passed away tragically in a very hard time. He went in with COVID right after Thanksgiving, and it was a very long process, and then he had a heart attack, and he went from he had brain damage to brain dead, and to have to pull the cord, it was something I've never gone through in my life. I've never done good with death in my life. I lost my father at a very young age. I have all these male figures in my life, I've never really been there. And it was really hard seeing my grandma, seeing his wife, and seeing my nieces all going through it and stuff like that. It was very hard. And normally what I do, I isolate and not deal with those things. I relapsed, and it took me a 3-month roll. And I finally landed in jail. Because I got a part-time job doing some kind of delivery stuff with On-Track, and I was still doing detailing stuff and driving for a big company, and just avoiding staying home. Relapsed. And went to jail. And I feel that was the right thing to happen because anything further would have been really bad. Now I feel grounded in my steps. I feel grounded in my commitments that I have. I feel good doing stuff like this. It's always really good to me. And things aren't what they are. Things are what you make it. You make it a good day. You make it a good reason to smile. You make it a good. You make what you make it. It's not what it is, it's what you make, and I've learned to understand that today and understand myself today. I don't want to bite off your guys' ears, so thank you for letting me share.
Now Travis is going to share his story with us real quick. Thank you, Miguel.
No worries.
Hi, so when I got to Salvation Army, my life was really unmanageable. I'm someone who's struggled with addiction for a long time, and I've been to 7 rehabs, and life was really hard for me. But I've graduated. Actually, I've been there for 8 months now, and my life has changed. I was somebody who didn't really want to get up in the morning and really do anything. I just sat on the couch all day long and had no motivation to do anything. And now, they make you go to work in the warehouse, and it's really changed my life. And we, go to chapel 3 times a week, and I really found a God of my understanding now. And nowadays I just pray, and it's really strengthened my mind and my heart and my whole life. And thank you, Salvation Army. Today I'm walking upright again. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Travis. Okay, so here is the big surprise we've all been waiting for. Thank you for your patience. So this is my first time being Red Day chair, and for a long time, this will be my 14th Red Day with Keller Williams. And we have always talked about as an ALC, we need the world to know what we're doing. We need to know, people need to know about Red Day. They need to know about KW, what our mission is, what our culture is, and what it's about. And one of the things that we've always talked about is we need the media to see us. We need to get the media here, and we've talked about it, and the last 14 years that I've been a part of, we haven't been able to do it. But thanks to this beautiful man right here, not only was there a press release that went out today with KPBS, but tomorrow, KUSI is going to be here. We're going to have the news here tomorrow for the first time for Red Day to really see what KW Metro is doing around San Diego County to help our community. So that means that we need all hands on deck tomorrow morning. Now, that's the good news. The bad news, I'm going to need you all to wake up a little bit early. I know it's rough, but think about it, okay? This isn't just about KW Metro. This is about each and every one of your businesses. How great is it going to be that you're going to be able to share with your sphere, with your social media, that you're going to be on TV tomorrow? So call your hairstylist, get your nail girl, whatever you need to do this afternoon, get yourself camera ready. Norm and I will be here early tomorrow, but we need you all here at 7:30.
7:30, that's not 6:30.
Well, some of you looked like, that was just an ungodly hour. I'm thinking of 6.
Can you say
6? Oh, yeah, sorry.
Thanks, Bridget.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what we would do without Bridget. She's really part of our great team. But you know what? I heard this great message from your first name? Sarah. Like, I felt inspired as she was speaking. Like, whoa, we can do all this great stuff, right? And one thing that I know of in my life is, you guys heard some of my stories. If I stay in my comfort zone, I'm always going to remain there. I'll never get out of that chair. So I think it's a great opportunity tomorrow to come down and rally the troops and come and be a part of it. Allie, I don't know if you guys all know Allie, I forget her last name, it's the one that's funny. To be a part of the news, and I was also informed that there may be some other ones here throughout the day. So we might get Fox, we might get 8, we might get 10, it just depends on their show. I know for sure 100% KUSI is going to be here. We want to be here like in full force, right? A lot of people at Red Day, having those clothings, and I don't know, for us as the Salvation Army, I want to let everybody know that we're here to help them. We're here to help the community that we serve in San Diego, right? It's hurting right now. We're hurting in San Diego. A lot of people out there are hurting. It's sad to know it. Because I walk by it, I pass up my cards to it. I love on them, I pray with them. Tomorrow we're going to be able to show what a great realty place KW, right, is in helping that community with the Salvation Army. People will see that. And it's a really good thing for this organization right here to be able to see that. Because how about it if we're on the news tomorrow for Red Day? This place, Metro, with the rest of them aren't. Right? It's like, whoa, Metro, that's where I want to be. Right? So anyway, I just wanted to
Thank you so much. So, even if you don't have a KW shirt or a Red Day shirt, that's okay. Wear red. Or if you have a Keller Williams shirt, wear your Keller Williams shirt. If you don't have a red or a Keller Williams shirt, come as you are, okay? That's okay. We just want you here. We want to see you on the news. We want you representing our amazing office because we are the best real estate office in the entire county. And we need to show everybody that. So wear what you can. It's gonna be a comfortable day. You don't need to look fancy. We're not gonna be doing any heavy lifting. It's mostly gonna be boxes and bags of clothes and things like that, so don't worry about that. So we're changing the time. Breakfast will be here early, so if you can get here by, I mean literally by 7:30, not like showing up at 8, because the news will be gone by then probably. So by 7:30, as you are, and we'll end up finishing up about 3 o'clock. We'll be loading up the trucks with everything. Our goal is to have that truck as filled as possible. Does anybody have any questions about tomorrow?
If you have stuff in your cars, if you have stuff in your cars, to be able to drive by about 7:45, actually dropping it off, because they'll be doing their spot at that time. My partner has told me they can always be a help too. Sure. You can actually get that. You know, get the busyness.
Action shot.
We need busyness, not just a few people standing out before the sign, just to be quite front about it. It's just really better for that. So somewhere, but there's a lot of donations in there. We got some ideas. We'll work with it.
Yeah, so if anybody comes and they want to be part of it but not on camera, we can have you do the drive-by of dropping off the donations or whatever. We can do all sorts of things. Kathy.
Next question. That is, can there be other donations besides clothing?
Yes.
Decorative items?
Yes, great question. Okay, before I forget, we will have the donation receipts, so if anybody asks for donation receipts, we will have those tomorrow. And yes, we will take more than clothes. We will take shoes, hats, scarves. We will take jackets. We will take decoration items for the kitchen or for the house, like small paintings, things like that. They will take kitchen knickknacks, that kind of stuff. They will take too. I've said mostly clothing drive to keep it simple, but if there are other things coming in, that's okay too. They take kids' toys too. Yeah, kids' toys, you can bring that stuff too. But I don't want anybody spending any money. I want you just reaching out to your database and posting it on social media. You can, it is not too late. You can absolutely get a trunk full of things between now and tomorrow. I promise you, you can do it. So that is, I think, about it. Reach out to me on Facebook or text me if you need something. I will be up very early tomorrow, so don't worry about waking me up.
Well, there's going to be lunch tomorrow. It's by flat-bid moving.
Yes.
So it's going to be, I'll probably get here at 11:30. I'm just going to pick the stuff up and bring it over. But they're paying for lunch. So come in the morning, but then if you're here through the day and want some lunch, we'll have some probably.
I'll gladly do whatever I can to support you guys.
Thank you, Kathy, for reminding me. Yes, so we'll have continental breakfast, basics, sponsored by Ed and Movement Mortgage, and then we will have Flatbid Moving sponsoring our lunch. It's going to be casual, you know, kind of come and grab as you are. You don't need to be here for the whole day. I'm not going to be here for the whole day because I've got pickups I need to do tomorrow, and I'm hoping I can rally a few of you because I've got more pickups than I can handle. So I might ask some of you to do that as well, and we can all go together and work as a team. So be here tomorrow at 7:30, and I do mean here at 7:30. I don't mean driving around trying to find parking at 7:30. So do I need to say 7:15, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, 7:15. Okay, Bailey.
Do we have any social media providers that we can?
Yes, they're all in the Facebook. They're in our Facebook group. There's a ton of them. I'll tag you on mine.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff in the group. I'll repost it this afternoon when I get back in too, just so you can see. It's just simple. It says KW Metro and signature. You can just put your information. I keep mine simple, and then I just put my information on the top when I talk about R.E.D Day. Yes, Deborah.
She wanted a receipt.
Yes, we're bringing receipts tomorrow. Great question.
Are you doing your own clothes?
Absolutely. I'm donating my clothes. My daughter is donating a lot of hers. I will probably be putting more stuff with my husband without his permission. So I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you're married to them and they're stuck with you. Then go ahead and do it. It's okay.
If you guys, for anyone who's new, like if you still have time, they're absolutely right. If you still have time to get in your neighborhood and talk to people, go around to your immediate neighbors, you will not understand until you actually participate in the day how incredibly meaningful it is to just, even if you you come in with one bag of clothing from your own closet to come and participate in this global day of giving.
Absolutely. Just come tomorrow. Come be on the news. How great is that? Oh, have you ever been on the news? Yes, matter of fact, I have heard we show you my media, right? This is so great for our office. It is so great for each and every one of you as realtors, as professionals, and as community leaders. Because whether or not you see yourself as a community leader, you are. And tomorrow, you're going to show the whole county that you are a community leader for real estate. Okay? Thank you, everybody.
We're so excited about the news, we're just waiting to hear the time. That's how you get the response rate. We're like, but what?
7:15.
Oh, so we awesome.